You know, there's days that people say we have the best job ever, and we usually pass it off, but today is definitely one of those days.
Oh my goodness, it is. We are here with Brian from Open and Isaac's, tasting beers for the SOB Festival coming up on Saturday, September 3rd. It's going to go from noon until 5 at the inn at 8:35, but we've got some samples of things here today.
Good time for a great cause, and good beer comes along with that. So we've got, 7 different varieties that we've got here. Almost all of these beers are going to be beers and ciders. We got a cider in here as well. Will be represented at SOB Festival. I know all the brands will certainly be here. The 2 brewers, I'm not 110% sure of whether or not they're bringing these particular brews. Is going to be Urban Chestnut. This is a English style porter. It's very good. I just tried it the other day. Big Muddy out of Southern Illinois has a Blueberry Blonde, which is a fantastic beer. I'm hoping that they're bringing it. It's very, very popular. We have a new brewery in Illinois out of Alton called Old Bakery, and they do all organic beers.
Oh,
That's
okay.
interesting.
Really neat stuff. We actually have another brewery who's coming that is all gluten-free beers. So even folks who are gluten sensitive, besides your ciders, which are naturally gluten-free, there will be gluten-free beers there as well.
That's awesome.
So Timotheus Brothers, which is a new Springfield brewery. We've got a cider and an American wheat from Oben and Isaac's. And then I actually have an Oxford, Macintosh Oxford Ale, which is a classic English brown ale out of Kaskaskia Brewing Company out of the St. Louis area. Again, another Illinois beer. So honestly, every beer that we have in front of us is made within about 100 miles of here.
That's fantastic.
Kinda
I think
cool.
that's one of the really cool things about the SOB Festival is that it gives you such a variety of local breweries and breweries from a little bit further outside in the state, but they're all independent, not these big, huge corporations.
It's all about the microbrew, and it's a really great opportunity, not only to help raise money for charity, but also maybe find a new beer that you haven't tried yet, something of a different style. I mean, these types of events, I found out that I like wheat beers.
Yeah.
Didn't know it before I tried them. So this is a great time for you to really broaden your horizons in the beer world.
It is.
Well, I think that's a perfect segue to try Old Bakery. They have a citrus wheat here.
Citrus wheat, okay.
I'm
It's got
really
some-
excited about this.
It's got some coriander. I believe it's got orange peel and lemon peel in it. But again, a wheat beer
Smells
is going to be
fantastic.
kind of lighter. Good for
Sidebar.
summer.
These new SOB glasses, these are the glasses that you're getting this year with your ticket. They're awesome. I love that they look like a mini beer can. Super
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this.
The smell is amazing.
It
You can
does.
smell a little citrus.
Oh, that's
That's
This
great.
is straight organic, you said, right?
That
Yeah,
is
beer.
Purely
clean on
organic.
the
It's
palate.
USDA
Yes.
organic certified. So
that's
Yeah,
delicious.
you're right. Very clean. Doesn't
clean.
leave any residue or any type of like aftertaste. Very
I feel like
clean.
wheat beers normally do that. They
Yeah.
normally have like a thickness almost.
it can.
And this still has that, but it's not.
This is definitely a refreshing one
Yeah.
that you want to try on Saturday because of the fact that it's one of those refreshing types that will help you out during a hot day, I dare say.
Yeah. And many of these are kind of summer flavors. We will have brewers that are going to be bringing some of their fall beers. I would not be surprised if there was an Oktoberfest release or two because
Okay.
it is beginning September.
we're getting there.
So we're starting to dig into it a little bit. Always want to make sure you rinse out your glass after tasting each one so you don't have flavors from the beer prior lingering. And we actually have glass rinsing stations at SOB. We've got 2 of them around the festival. What do you guys think of next? Should we?
I'm thinking Timotheus.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is their Sunset Blonde. I don't know that we've gotten confirmation on what beers Timotheus Brothers is bringing to us this year.
Timotheus.
But, well, I'm not positive. I know that their last name is Tim. So, T-I-M-M. So, but good guys. They just increased their brewing capacity from Facebook posts that I've seen. But this is going to be their Sunset Blonde. So it's an amber blonde ale.
Very good. Once again, another great smelling beer. One of which you can try. Maybe not just this particular kind, but just their brewing company at SOB Festival.
That's got a nice little ting at the
Yeah, as
back
soon as it
end of
enters,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
Very clean.
with your ales, you're going to have a little bit more hops inclusion, so you're going to have just a little bit more bitterness. But an ale in general, unless it's a hoppier, American pale ale or Indian pale ale, will not be overwhelming on the what they call IBUs. the
Yeah,
bitterness.
IBUs, yep.
This is good.
Very good, very clean,
It's
very
really
much.
good.
Another one that would be great just to sit down on the back patio in the middle of summer and hang out.
And they're right here in Springfield too,
Yeah.
which is awesome
Yeah.
that this delicious beer comes right in your hometown.
Yep, available on store shelves all around. I actually, if I'm not mistaken, I purchased this bottle at Hy-Vee, which is one of our ticket stations.
Ooh, very cool.
Where can folks get tickets for this event?
Oh, well, we've got 5 spots around town this year.
Okay.
So Friar Tuck has been a great partner of ours. They've carried tickets for us for several years.
Okay.
Hy-Vee's Spirits Department is providing tickets as well. We've got them available at Obed and Isaac's and the end of day 35 during normal business hours. And Habitat for Humanity Restore. Habitat for Humanity is one of our charitable recipients this year, and they've agreed to sell tickets for us as well. So altogether, we've got 1,000 tickets out at our ticket stops around town.
That's perfect. We do also have links posted for you at WQLZ.com, and all the Midwest Family Broadcasting stations have links posted there. And then also on SOB Festival, they've got it posted up there as well. So you can purchase them online and make it even easier.
Now, before we get into this next one real quick, because you were talking about off camera here before we got started about an oyster beer.
Yes, there will be.
Tell us about this real quick. That is going to be there.
Yes, a very special release. The brewmasters at Obed and Isaac's did a little brainstorming and tinkering in what they call their Skunk Works lab, and they came up with a Prairie Oyster Stout. And for those of you that aren't familiar with what a Prairie Oyster is, I'll urge you to look it up.
I just found out.
But
it's fun.
it's a special stout beer. It's a cream stout. That has had some prairie oyster steeped in it for just a few minutes. So very interesting. It's kind of a unique flavor challenge. And I think our brewmasters also kind of designed it in order to force the crew at Obed's. It will be released at Obed's the week of SOB Festival in order to force people to tell customers what a prairie oyster is.
Feel free to look that one up, and we'll leave it at that.
Once again, the challenge laid down.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so what do we have here right now that we're doing?
Let me check on this one. I believe that this is the American wheat from Obed and Isaac's, and we do know for a fact this will be available at SOB Festival. The other offering that they have is their house cider, which is Springfield's only hard cider.
I think this might be.
Ooh.
Nope. I was mistaken. I apologize. This is going to be the Obed's house cider.
That's it. Smells cider.
No,
Look at her
I
face.
didn't get a good whiff of it. Yes.
Oh,
So,
She's in
man.
love right now.
well, the only reason I got them confused is because the color and tone and haze is about the same.
Wow.
This, right?
It
This
tastes
is-
just like a cider. It doesn't even taste like there's alcohol in it.
No,
Right.
I'm not
It's-
a crazy person. It's that good.
It's dangerously delicious. They do flavors of the house cider as well. So what this is an English dry cider that's been back sweetened just a touch. So the dry cider is really palate cleansing, but a lot of your mainstream ciders are going to be very sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is a little bit of a balance between that, so it's still very drinkable.
What does it mean when you say back sweet?
Oh, adding sugar to the very end, the finishing part of the process.
Oh, okay.
So instead of adding the sugar to the pre-fermentation, it's post-fermentation that you add just a little bit of flavoring.
Okay, I like.
And in addition, they do flavored cider. So they've released a peach cider this year that's very popular, a pear cider, which was a great experiment, and the pineapple cider just was released, and it went over huge. So yeah, they're actually considering looking at
It's
expanding
delicious.
the cider offerings. But
And you can get this here at Open and Isaac's for how long is it?
the house cider actually is available year round.
Perfect.
The flavors will vary on season based off of what kind of fresh fruit pulp they
Okay.
can get.
Okay.
So, peach will last as long as we
But
get
this
fresh
one's
peaches.
year-round?
The house cider should be
Fantastic.
year-round. Yep. So we'll go a touch heavier for the moment, but not really heavy.
All right.
One thing that folks who are new to SOB or craft beers in general will learn is that not all dark beers are heavy. This is
Wow, that is
Max
very dark.
or Macintosh's Oxford Ale, and it's a new offering from Kaskaskia Brewing Company out of the St. Louis area. And this is a classic English brown ale recipe. One of my friends actually came up with the recipe for this, and so
Yeah, look how dark that is. I
definitely
can see
admire
just
his work.
there's stuff in there floating around too.
But
It's really
believe it or
pretty
not,
coloring.
this is actually a very evidently it was made with all English ingredients.
Kind of smells like coffee.
yeah,
yes,
it has that kind of coffee stout to it.
in your brown ales and in some stouts, you're going to catch hints of coffee. Hints of on your stout. Sometimes you'll get chocolate in there.
Yep.
What I get on the Max Oxford Ale is a touch of coffee, but a touch of nuttiness. But it's actually very, very smooth and crisp to drink.
Ooh.
So for a brown ale, you would think, oh, heavy. No,
Yeah, I'm
not
expecting
the
a very
case.
heavy, thick taste when as soon as it
It's-
enters the palate.
It's not heavy.
I consider this smoother than Newcastle.
It is.
personally.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
definitely is. It's got a nice you're right with the nutty flavor afterwards.
Just a hint of
and,
nuttiness.
yeah, and it's right at the very, very end. Beginning is very smooth going down. And I like this.
Yeah,
and
very
I'm
much
not
do.
usually a dark beer drinker.
Yeah, had I just seen
this is my style.
Yeah, had I just seen this in a store or just sitting there in front of me, somebody else next to me,
Wouldn't
I'd
have
be
picked
like,
it up.
No, that's all right. I'll just
This
pass.
is
I'll
really
go with
good.
one of these lighter beers. But definitely, this is. Don't just let the flavor. Don't just let the color take away from it. Take a chance. Give it a try when you're at SOB Festival coming up here.
And
on Saturday.
I think is one of the really cool things about SOB Festival, especially with the tickets this year, is there's 30 samples with the tickets this year.
Yep.
So this year, you really have the opportunity on Saturday to try so many different varieties and not have to purchase extra drink tickets to do so.
Correct.
And I love that. I love that.
That's one of the ways that we changed the model this year. So this is one of our regular tickets, our general admission tickets, and on the back side is the boxes for your beer samples. And what each attendee will get is a little lanyard with a little plastic holder, and so you can hang your little drink card right
cool.
there. Make it easy for the brewers to check off your samples as you get them one by one. But yes, every attendee, both regular and VIP, will get 30 beer samples. VIPs just simply have access to some brews that are not available at the regular
Right,
festival.
you have like an air-conditioned bathroom. You have a private area for yourself for those extra beers.
Yes, the VIPs, that's a big fundraising area for the festival this year, so we certainly didn't want to do without it. And with those folks, they also get food all day provided by Gordon Food Service and prepared by the Inn at 835's executive chef.
Wow.
It's some yummy stuff. But for the regular attendees, we've got great food trucks. So we've got Chaditos, we have car liquor concessions, which is actually coming fresh out of the fairgrounds, and then we've got Hy-Vee's new food truck, Julia from Julia's Kitchen. That's a smoker truck.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
saw
So
they had that at the fair this year.
There should be really good stuff. I expect great stuff from her because I know her cooking, I know her stuff. She does wonderful work, definitely so.
Now, tickets for VIP are $65.
65 until the
$65.
28th, which
Okay.
they go up $5 then.
Okay.
To be honest, if you don't find them at Obin and Isaac's or the Inn at 835, they may be sold out.
Ooh.
Day of tickets for the regular tickets are what, 30?
$30.
Yep. Which,
And-
honestly, for $1 a sample, that's as good as any beer festival I know of, to be honest.
In all honesty, and I've been to a lot of beer festivals, this is your best bang for your buck, to be
Oh my
quite
goodness,
honest with
I've
you.
spent $50 on 5 samples before for a beer fest. Like, this is awesome.
Yep. So this
So
is.
what do we have here? 'Cause this is another
Urban
dark
Chestnut.
one.
This is another dark one, so we'll get through those. But this one might be a touch darker than Oxford Ale, Max Oxford Ale. But what you'll notice is some really rich flavor.
Ooh.
Yes, it's again
Already.
not a heavy beer. It's not a heavy beer. Urban Chestnut is somebody
like
who's
this.
really come up for themselves quite a bit. They've expanded their operations tremendously in the St. Louis area. They're longtime friends of the festival. We love what they do, and they have not, in my opinion, turned the corner into being like the bad moniker of big beer by any means.
Okay.
They've grown wonderfully though.
Yeah.
Their facility down in St. Louis,
Goodness.
amazing tap room, amazing new bottle works.
And once again, another situation where when you take a sip of it, you're expecting heavy because how dark it is, and it's not that heavy. It doesn't
No.
leave that big of a residue, or it feels that heavy being on the sip.
It's slightly nuttier on the nose than it is on the tongue.
Yeah, I would
Um,
actually say that this one was nuttier on the palate than on the nose.
Yes.
Flip.
Whereas, yeah, it's flipped the opposite way.
Yep, and you get some rich caramel notes, a little bit of maltiness in this one.
Yeah, I
as
can
well.
taste that. This is good. This is really good.
Very good. Another one to try at the festival.
I'm finding
Oh, yeah.
some dark beers I didn't expect to like.
Yes, that's
Usually, I
That's-
think dark beer. I think Guinness. It's thick. It's heavy. That's it.
It's
you know
a meal
what I
in a
mean?
glass.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Not at all.
This
They're
is not that.
Obin and Isaac's actually just released their what's it called? The Long Nine Black IPA. And for a black IPA, it is neither heavy nor super bitter.
Okay.
So it's a beer in disguise, if you will. It's something that I'm not normally fond of IPAs, or I've got to be in the mood for hops. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
I truly enjoy the Long Nine. It's actually a perennial favorite. People get excited about it getting released. So we'll go ahead and go back into the lighter side of things. This is Blueberry Blonde from our friends down in Big Muddy Brewing
Okay.
Company, which is just outside of Carbondale.
Okay.
They do favorite beer for any SIU grads is Saluki Dunkel Dog. That's a
I
Dunkel
just
Dog.
like
Love the
saying
name,
that.
Yeah.
Saluki Dunkel Dog.
Yep, Dunkel Dog. Yep.
Who came up with
So-
Dunkel Dog?
Yeah. Well,
That's
Dunkel
awesome.
Weiss and the Salukis are known as the dogs. So
That's fantastic.
I'm a Saluki myself, so we're gonna cheers to the
I'm learning all
Cheers
these
to
new
Salukis.
things.
I think there we go. Let's
Yeah.
cheers.
Saluki.
To
Dunkel dogs.
Salukis. Go dogs.
I love the smell. Not even
Yeah.
before
Blueberry.
sipping it, the smell is
Ooh.
very the aroma.
And you really don't think that blueberry is gonna mix with that beer kind of tang flavor, but it's
I'm feeling
like
blueberry
pine
muffin.
blueberries. Yes.
Very much.
Very good.
Yes.
It tastes like I'm drinking a blueberry muffin.
Now, I need
It
to
smells
mention
like
that
too.
this is a blueberry blonde ale, so it's going to be on the lighter side of the ales. Open Isaacs just released a blueberry wheat, which is one of my favorite beers.
Right up my alley.
Annually, their blueberry and blackberry wheats are two of my favorites. But with those, the blueberry blonde, perennial favorite. A lot of folks who like Big Muddy actually prefer this beer above any other that they offer, but they have a great selection of beers.
It's really delicious. I encourage you when you go to SOB Festival to try out this blueberry. You'll be happy.
They get
Very much so.
They get fan clubs for this beer.
This is
People who
delicious.
Really?
come to the festival with the
Yeah.
blueberry blonde shirts on.
Okay.
Yeah, blueberry blonde. Say that 5 times fast after we're done
Blueberry
with these
blonde,
samples.
blueberry blonde, blueberry blonde, blueberry blonde, blueberry blonde.
Blah,
blah,
Damn it!
Ah,
The
yes!
fifth one messed me up. I blame it on the alcohol. The alcohol.
Sure, she does.
Yeah, I did that too.
Go ahead.
All right.
Kyle's laughing at me like she's such an idiot.
And
Always with the stupid
I'm
jokes.
surprised now. Then again, we've had half samples, if you will, but we've already kind of burned through these beers pretty quickly.
I think we only have
The
one left,
The
right?
one that we have left is the American wheat from Oban and Isaacs. That's going to be the base for the blueberry wheat beer that they have on tap
Okay.
currently.
Fantastic.
And they also use it as the base for the blackberry wheat. Again, another favorite. Just depends on the supply of blackberries and blueberries on any given year.
Make sure you go to SOBfestival.com, WQLZ.com. All the details about the Springfield Oyster and Beer Festival are available to you there, so you can come out Saturday and join us and enjoy all these great beers. The QLZ crew is going to be there. We're going to be hanging out. And then there's also Pearl Pong.
Yeah, Pearl Pong is something really cool. So basically, Brian and I were talking, and there's a lot of fun stuff from the past SOB festivals that is just sitting and chilling. And we thought, well, who doesn't want some of those commemorative glasses? I use mine from last year all the time.
I drink regularly from mine, yes.
All the time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play some Pearl Pong, and it's basically one side of a beer pong table. So we'll have the 10 cups set up, and on the bottom of them will be written, there'll be water inside of them, but on the bottom of them will be written the prize that you could win, and you're just gonna be able to go straight up to it and throw the ball in, and there might be some that you don't get a prize, but there might be some where you get something really, really cool. So we've got some very cool things to give away with Pearl Pong.
There may be free tickets for future SOB festivals included.
And just because QLZ is involved in it, maybe a few concert tickets, few CDs. Yeah, you'll have to wait and see. Throw the ball and see what happens.
Some glasses. It'll be interesting. It'll be a fun game in general, but I'm looking forward to that. That's going to get started at 11 o'clock when we do our broadcast, and it will go on until all the prizes are gone.
Fantastic.
So tell me about this last beer that we're going to try.
Sure. This is Oban and Isaacs American Wheat. This is going to be a classic, I'd say standard American wheat ale. It's going to be fairly light, fairly crisp. Some wheat ales are served with a lemon or an orange garnish. We don't with ours. You can add it if you wish.
I like those types of wheat beers that you don't have to add that to it. You know, if it's just, you can pop open the bottle, take it straight out of it. There, you're good
Yeah.
to go.
And some beers, actually, any type of citrus does complement the flavoring very
Oh,
well.
absolutely.
You know, there's a Blue Moon out there with a slice of orange actually does help bring out the orange peel inside the beer. But really, with the American wheat, you know, the brewmasters believe their product should speak for itself.
Yeah.
I like
You know,
that.
other than throwing a strawberry garnish on the strawberry blonde over summertime, and that's more for looks than flavor.
I was going to say
Yeah.
Blue Moon is normally my beer of choice when
Sure.
I'm going to the store or whatever. That's what I
Tell
normally
you,
go for.
wait till you try this.
Well,
And there's a difference between a Blue Moon with an orange peel and without an orange
Right.
peel. So I'm
All
excited
depends
to
on the
try
brewery.
this.
And,
Yeah.
and nothing against Blue Moon, but we'll fix that soon enough.
Take a sip and just decide.
Oh, I don't think I'm drinking Blue Moon anymore.
I told you,
Do you
you
sell those
don't
by the
always need
bottle?
that.
Growler. They sure do.
Perfect.
Then you can actually get a crowler, which is a 32-ounce can as well.
And we can go inside right after we're done here, because we're outside of
Yeah.
the beer garden right now. And
Yeah, this is it, man.
I want you to try their blueberry wheat. I
Okay.
really like it. It's kind of a combination between this and the blueberry blonde.
This is really good.
Yeah, and overall, right now we have 34 brewers committed to
Okay.
SOB Festival, which is about the same count as we had last year. But we've got new brewers
New ones coming in?
New ones coming in that
Fantastic.
we've never had
Awesome.
at SOB, and new brewers that have not really been established in Illinois for long.
Okay.
That's
So
fantastic.
White Oak and Decatur Brew Works, we've got a whole host of them, and that doesn't even count the mainstream brands that are being covered by our distributors, our local distributors, who also do a great job. They have a huge craft portfolio. They've done very, very well, but we like to mix it up, both the little guys and the bigger names. I will say that you'd be very hard pressed to find a Miller Lite or Bud Light anywhere on the premises, but that's
Right.
part of the point, is exploring new flavors, trying new things. Hopefully not necessarily getting out of our comfort zone. If good beer is in our comfort zone, then we shouldn't be getting out of it by any means, but just trying different things that we didn't know or didn't
Yeah.
think we would like. You can't go wrong with 30 samples.
Yeah.
If
For
you don't like
$30.
something, it's not going to be the biggest loss.
Yeah, that, like I said before, that's one of the biggest things I love about the SOB festivals. The fact that you get to try different beers. You get to, in this case, for you, the
Yeah.
weed, you get to try different weed that you never would have thought
And
of.
I like this better than
Right.
Blue Moon. It doesn't have the same aftertaste. It's much
Right, and you don't need the
nicer on
garnish
the
to go
palate.
with it.
Yeah.
So it's about just expanding your palate, trying new things. Whether you think that dark beer might not be something you like anyways, obviously we just tried it and we found out we like this dark beer.
You'd be surprised. So make sure you come out on Saturday to the SOB Festival at the Inn at 8:35. It is going on from noon until 5 o'clock. And then you're having the official after party. Will be here at Opet and Isaac's. And hey, by the way, there's a shuttle that'll take you to and from.
What we actually, just as an insider tip, what I recommend is park at Obed and Isaac's. There's a free shuttle that will literally be running all day, just directly to and from the brewery to the party, if you will. And so you can park where you after party, get some food in you afterwards. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
It's pretty much perfect. So come on out. $30 will get you in the door. $70 for VIP if they're even still available. 30 drink tickets goes with it. And
But if they want to buy more, they can, right?
With
No?
samples,
Yes.
30
and done.
I'd
I think
be
30 will be
surprised.
good, but I just want to
30 will be
make
good.
sure.
we
maybe-
just had 1,
how
2,
about
3,
this?
4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
7, and
Yeah.
I feel pretty good.
Yeah, if we can guarantee they've called an Uber, then maybe we'll consider
All right,
giving an
just
extra.
wanna make sure.
Because
I
these
just
are
checking.
these are the glasses. These are the
Yeah.
official SOB glasses, and
This
that
is the
that
line.
line pour is a 6 ounce.
Five.
5
I think
ounce?
5 ounce.
So 2 of these is almost an entire bottle of beer. I think that 15 of them would get you
Yep.
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
solid.
You'll be good.
Should be good.
It's not about getting solid.
No,
as Katie
not
put it.
at
It's
all.
about
No.
just exploring the beers, having a good time, and obviously raising money for charity. Now, real quick, we mentioned one already.
That's-
Give us the 3 that are
Yeah.
involved.
So this year we've got Habitat for Humanity and their Restore of Sangamon County. Great group of folks. I love the work that they do. We've got Share the Spirit Foundation, which
What?
is
Yeah.
Share the Spirit is a nonprofit that is based out of Springfield and Colorado. It's 2 sisters that operate 2 wings of the same organization, and they help needy kids. They
Awesome.
do 2 programs, just as a sample of some of the work that they do. Is they have a shoe drive every year for kids who can't afford new shoes before the school year begins, and they do a holiday store, if I'm not mistaken, that actually allows low-income children to get holiday presents for their family
That's
members
awesome.
at no cost.
That's awesome.
Then our last one is Matthew Project. With Matthew Project is located right here in Springfield only. It is a nonprofit, again, assisting children from low income and needy households. And they do anything and everything that allows a child to succeed in their academic pursuits. So it could be tutoring, it could be school supplies, it could be extracurricular things that might not necessarily be in your standard list of goods that they give you at the beginning of the school year.
That's awesome.
Matthew Project, a local grassroots startup. We're very happy to help all 3 organizations. So far, this is our 7th year, and we've already donated just under $50,000.
That's amazing.
We hope to continue to get ahead of that by year 10. My goal is that we've given away $100,000 or more. But every year, it's a
It just
great
keeps
party.
growing.
We get to benefit the community. It's a win-win. It's kind of a no-brainer, if you will.
So it's a no-brainer for you to be at the Inn at 8:35 on Saturday from noon until 5 for the Springfield Oyster and Beer Festival. You can find out more details on sobfestival.com, also online at WQLZ.com, and we will see you there for beer, food, fun, and giving back to the community. And
See ya. I'm out. Bye.
keep
Trying to
drinking
take off
more
with
beer.
everything, but
Hey, wait, give me that one back. I liked
yeah.
it.
Blueberry, fine.
Whatever.
to